Hi everyone, it's Tasha Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So, sorry if you can hear next door's dogs barking. Can't do much about it. Have to have the window open, otherwise I'll melt. So, this is something I've made previously. I made bigger versions of these. So I made this one originally, and then I made this one. And I know these as LMUs. I had a job once working for the government. I worked in a job centre, signing people on, etc. So when they were claiming unemployment benefits and looking for jobs, etc. So I've made these previously, made these in a previous video. This one, like I say, in one video, and then this one was in a different one. And I'm going to make a smaller one because I want one for my new journal that I'm making, my folio thing. So we're going to make another one. We're going to make it a little bit different because these two use, this one uses a treasury tag to keep it closed, which is this this contraption here. I don't know what other countries know them as. This one's using that kind of tie that I've used quite recently from my the writing board in the folio. This time we're going to use a piece of elastic. So really simple to make. I'm going to make mine the size I'm going to make mine. You can make yours whatever size you like. You don't even have to make one. You could just sit and watch me. So yes, I used to work for the job centre a long time ago. I worked in Rugby job centre. Rugby is a town in Warwickshire, which is where I hail from. Not Rugby, but Warwickshire. Well, Coventry. So I used to work in a job centre. I've worked as a TV craft demonstrator. I've worked as a store manager. I've worked as a visual merchandiser. So as in visual displays like windows, shop windows, that sort of thing. What else have I done? I've been a teacher. I've been a staff trainer. I've been a cinema manager. I've done quite a lot. I have worked for like 38 years, so like I think I managed to fit in a few. Is it 38 years this year? Something like that. Started working when I was 16, and I will be 55 this year. So 37 years, is it? Or maybe 39 years. Something like that. Wow. Stop thinking about it. So yeah, I'm just going to make this. This is going to be 4 inches high, and this one is actually, I think it's 7 inches long. But you know what? I don't even think I'm going to cut this one down. I'm just going to use the full width of this. Sorry, the full length of this piece of grey board. So before I do anything else with this grey board, I want to first of all make it look a little bit shabby, as is my way. Is that definitely frayed burlap? It is. It looks just more brown than frayed burlap usually does, but I guess it is. If it says it is, it is. So I'm just going to catch the edge of this grey board first. So all I wanted was something that was longer than it was wide. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to put in a little bit of colour, just encroaching onto the edge. I'll decide which way up is up and which way up is down, and then I'll do more colour. So if you look at the back of this one, it's meant to look like it's been on desks and things. So again, I'm just going to do this. Sorry, back next door's dogs, they're been a bit barky today. I think there's people, because it's kind of, I would say it's been dry, but it hasn't. It's been raining a lot, but there's people been playing football on the field and people coming and going, and the dogs don't like people. They don't like people walking past. I don't know whether they don't like people. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to have something to make this part. So this top part, let's just take this off and I will show you what I mean by this. So this is in 2 parts. Take that out. These are the inner gubbins. So there's this bit that sits on here, and this is kind of true to life about how an LMU to me looks like. I don't know whether I explain what an LMU stands for, but it stands for a labour market unit. So, which is when you used to sign on at the place that you used to sign on at. When you used to sign on at the job centre in the UK, that's what your file used to be held in. Right, I'm going to just bear with me for a second. Okay, so this is what I made the last one out of, but I think I'm going to make this one out of this blue one. Haven't used any of these yet. I liked those brown ones so much I went out and bought some of these. I say went out, I went nowhere. I went onto Amazon and bought some. And these they're a German style hanging system. So they hang on this kind of hooky thing here. And never seen them in the UK, but I liked them and I wanted to use them. So I would have loved to have used all of this on the outside, but if I had, it would have ended up being upside down, so I decided not to. Or see, if you folded it this way, turned it round to being the right way, it'd be the wrong way up. So I just folded it in and used the lines on the back as being a bit of interest. So all I did was I folded it in. This one was 2.5. This time I think I'm just going to go with what looks good. So I think about there. Maybe about there. Maybe about there. Yeah, about, don't know, maybe about there. Let's go for that. So I'm just going to fold this down. Now this is going to be cut down, obviously. So I'm just going to fold this in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball it. So I'm not going to cut it this way just yet. I'm going to eyeball it, and we're going to have that much overhang on one side. And we're going to have, we'll go that much overhang. And that much overhang. We're going to cut it about there. Whatever line mark that is. I don't even know whether that's even a measurement. But we're just going to cut it. Just love this blue, that's what it was, and I wanted to have some blue in my new journal. So I know that I want this bit in the middle to be I want it to sit kind of in between those lines. That's really what I'm going for. I'm just gonna finger mark it. It's not a standard measurement, Dave. So I just want to, so I've got an idea of where I need it to kind of fold in. So what I want to do is put a pencil mark on there. And on there. I like to do some things that, especially when you guys aren't necessarily going to be making this, to do things that are a little bit more challenging for me sometimes by not actually measuring things. I know lots of people like things not being measured. I don't. I like things to be very accurate. Like that. Let's do this side. So, don't want to cut that bit off though, do I? Let's go. See if we can get it all on the. Oh, I can just squeezed on. So. crease line. So I was looking for my scissors and they're not even there. So what's going to happen is I'm going to cut that off at that angle, and cut that one off at that angle. And this I'm going to fold on the continuation line here, and it's going to fold it instead of, I'm not going to worry about the scoring side of things. I'm just going to fold it, and that's going to be our thing to join it to the rest of the, to make the pocket, to create the pocket, if you understand what I mean. And if you don't, I'll show you. So that's going to fold around there, and then they're going to sit round the back of there. They don't sit inside, because if they sit inside, they just get in the way of all of the gubbins that you're trying to put in there. So put that round, get my scoring tool, and fold that down, and that's going to sit like that. That's going to be a pocket in there, and then we just want to make sure that that has been made to like a similar sort of size to that, and it has. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip it over. I'm just going to take a pencil line to it, and I am going to just cut that off with a blade. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to round these corners like I did on the last one. And I'm going to ink it before I glue it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open it up and ink it so that it kind of inks, so that these bits that you can see through, it's going to be a bit inky underneath there. I like the colour, and realise the colour is going to change slightly because when I do this, it's going to change the colour, but that's fine. We want it to look old. I'm just going to go over the whole thing. Don't mind the random patterns on it either, because that's all like part of the modelling. You actually find a lot of office supplies materials that have like that kind of marbled pattern on them. I guess it was just to stop it from looking quite so dirty so quickly. You know, a pattern, something always stays looking cleaner for longer, doesn't it? So that's going to go like that. So we're just going to ink over the front of this. Catch that edge. You're not going to worry about these tabs because you're not going to see them. The back, not really going to see that. Might just put a little bit on here on the edges. My excuse is it would have stayed quite clean because it's attached to that. Might have a little bit of marking on it, but not a lot. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this bit down like this. So glue that bit round there. Okay, and then we can get on with the next bit. So it does have that frayed burlap, does have a much colder feel to it than the other colours, the warmer browns. That's definitely more of a grey brown, like a more of a black brown than a warm brown, than a brown than a red brown. I don't know, don't ask me about the brown or the black brown or the blue brown or the no brown. So that's going to sit on there like so. I am going to make the corners of this a little bit more dirty, but in a different colour. Bring in a different colour. maybe a little bit of a marking over the top of there. Okay, so that's going to be my front bit. Right, before I do anything, I will use this on the back, and I'm just going to go over like this, just to make it look a bit more used, as it were. Like that. A tad on the edge. This is the one that's running out. So, just wanted it a bit more coloured. There you go. Cool. So those two are going to line up like that, and then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a hole in it. I am a hole and I live in the mole. I'm not. I'm neither. So I'm going to put that, and I'm going to eyeball the middle of that to be about there. It's about ½ an inch away from the edge. Put a hole in it. Give it a wiggle. I don't tear it as I pull it out. So there we go. They've got the hole in it. Okay, so that's going to have our stuff in it. So what shall I use? I don't know whether to use the yellow. The yellow is very striking on there, but I also like the red. Maybe the red, because then it's a bit more, looks a bit more official. So first of all, I'm going to have to knot it and make sure it's going to be long enough first. So knotting elastic is not always easy without cutting the blood supply off to your fingers. So you constantly want to move your fingers out of the way. You have to have a bit of brute force to kind of keep the elastic open whilst you're doing that. Okay, so we've made a knot, and that should stop that from slipping through there. This does have a way round though, so I shall make sure it's the right way round. Then I'm going to feed it through here. Now, we want to make sure that that looks genuinely old too. I have no idea what that is in there, but it's very soaked up a lot of ink. So we're going to make a mark on there. A mark on there, you know, like we do when we're making faux paper fasteners. There we go. Push this one through. Yeah, which way around is it? That way. So these were just done in the same way as I did when I made the paint me like one of your French boards. The French board that I made for my folio, which was in one of the previous videos. I don't necessarily film these videos in the same order, so as I put them out, so they don't always come chronologically. So there we go. That sits around there, and all that does is it kind of clamps this bit closed, and that way then all the stuff in theory stays in there. So we'll make some stuff to go in there, and we'll put some things on there before we do that. So we want to stamp this with I want to stamp this with something. You may not, but I do. So let's get some VersaFine, and let's get, I did have some stamps that I left out. Yes, these are just cheap off Amazon. So I'm just going to use this. They are, you know, the made in China type thing. Stamp that on there. You just want, well, I just want something that looks quite administrative. That. Have that there. Have it there, I think. Like that. And then I'm going to have this, but I won't have the week challenge thing on it. I shall just have the boxes. And have that there. Cool. Perfect. Might even go for, I think I've got something else similar to that. This one. Might stamp this one in red. Red doesn't always stand out very well on blue, but we can give it a go. Oh, and I really want to know, where have I put, where's the lid for that? Oh, it's there, Dave. In my other hand is where it is, Dave. I can't figure out what the new colours of those are, and I want to buy some. So we will have that one, I think. Going to do this in red. Stamp it down here. Slightly wonky because it looks more human that way. There we cool. There we cool. There we go. Cool. There we go. That's what I meant. Maybe have that as well. Top there. Cool. Put the lid back on that. Close that up. And maybe today is the day. Today is the day for a stampy thing. Issued for construction. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to assemble it. So no, that's not the right one. That's the right one. Oh, actually, we want to make this a little dirty looking, well, or reinforced looking, one of the two. No, Dave, you want to go through there first. And then through there. And then around that. I will just ink off the edge of this as well. That's not my ink pad, there it is. Get those corners. Top edge. Bottom edge. Cool. Yeah, just make it look a bit more used. Oh, don't fall on me. So now what I want to do is I want to put some things in it. So all I did was on the last one I just made some bits of paper. That's just literally that's all I'm going to do again. I'm going to use the same bits of paper as I had before. It was definitely a case of eyeballing it last time, so I'm going to eyeball it this time. Just tear that on that line, or there or thereabouts of that line. And that piece is going to go in. I'm going to have some of these. One's shorter than the other, otherwise there's no point, you can't see them. Have that at the back. This one's shorter this time. It was the other way around last time. We might want to make those shorter anyway, because they might be hanging off. They will. Just going to tear the ends off that. We can have a narrower piece, I guess. Piece of something. I did have some stuff. I had some stuff. That's the problem. I had a lot of stuff. There's always a lot of stuff. Let's get a piece of this out. So we'll use this. Might even leave the end on it actually. Go a little bit narrower. Leave the end on. And I don't think I'm even going to put anything on it this time. I'm just going to pop it in there. So you undo it, put all your things in there, and then you do it back up again. And that just clips it in place and it stops them all falling out. So there we go. Another little fun project. Like I say, I've made them before. Just really wanted another couple to go in my new folio journal. Oh, put this one back together. Yeah, so you know the folio that I've been working on, wanted them to go in there. So I wanted a couple, and I wanted them to be a bit smaller because the other ones were a bit large. I did try them in the folio. They were just a bit domineering, really. Oh, there we go. Put them in there first. Put that in there, that in there, on there. Cool. Fab. Brilliant. So those will now go in with the others. So that's literally what they look like. So anyway, I hope you liked that. That's another thing that you might give a go of. I'll try and remember to link the previous videos in my description for the other ones that I've made, but if not, you can find them. I think one of them was definitely done under the Margot series. If you don't know who Margot is, go back and have a look, check out who Margot is. I will be doing some more Margot makes, I think, in the future. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying doing this folio. I've not really been that enthusiastic about making one continuous project before, so might as well enjoy it while the moment lasts. So these will go into my folio, but obviously they're things that you could definitely make standalone and just a bit of fun. Anyway, stop picking them up, Dave, and leave it be. So thank you very much. My name is Dash of Dave, and guess what? I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I will see you in the next video. So don't forget to give this a like, comment, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you soon. Take care, folks. Big hugs. And you get a better hug from an octopus. An octopus?